Hey guys, Mike here. In this video, I'm going to show you what a cracked team looks like. And I already know this team is cracked. And I didn't use meta units, I didn't use anything like that. And this is based off of my previous video that I made, which was what makes a perfect team. Or basically, what's really good team composition. And I'm going to be taking the principles from that video, where I talk about magic busters, speedsters, tanks, staff users, etc. Then I'm applying it to this video. And I'm only on I just beat chapter 16, and I already know this team is cracked. So, and I didn't use like all the units that people talk about. I just used off units, right? So, like everyone's about internal level 20, around there, I would say. So I promoted most of my units early at level 10. So now, because they're at advanced class level 10, 11-ish, that means that makes them internal level 20-ish. And I've got, all right, so let me just explain what I got here. So let's start with Alear. Alear's simple. I'm kind of actually playing Alear the same as I did in my previous playthrough. But yeah, it's just a speedster, Fizz speedster. Builds meter with liberation. I have arts on Alear this time, so she can actually start breaking magic units, which is pretty nice actually. And nothing to really say about Alear right now. Maybe I will do something different down the road, but I'm just gonna keep Alear as a Fizz speedster. And it's been working really well. So next is Fram. Fram is my main healer, or my main staff user, and she is quite cracked right now, if I do say so myself. Like, her rating's at 130, and the steel hand art to build meter as well as break magic units comes in really clutch. I also gave her the boots as well. You can see her move is now 6, and the boots allow her to just reach anybody to heal them, or to get in range of magic units. I find that's actually really useful because magic units, because they typically have 5 move, but they have like at least 2 range. This move 6 actually kind of helps to get in their vicinity so you can start punching them. But the move is just really nice. It's more of a comfort thing, to be honest. Just because she's going around healing. I have Byleth on her, she's just dancing. And she's just there to break and heal. And she's pretty simple to play, I'd say. Yeah, we got a bunch of staffs on her. You'll notice for my units right now, because like I don't want to spend my SP quite yet. I'm just saving up my SP. Some I know exactly what I'm going to use my SP for, but some, like for Fram right now, I don't really know what I want to do with her, what skills I want her to inherit. So yeah, just holding on to the SP. We're just chilling, just relaxing. Yeah, she's really strong. I really like this Fram. She's doing very well. We got Lapis, so she's a Fizz speedster, that hot 27 speed, and she has Lin on, and she has the Wodow right now. I know people were saying like killer sword is better. I actually don't have it. I know I can probably upgrade like an iron or a steel sword and turn it into a killer, but I'm just kind of lazy right now, and I'm just sticking with the Wodow with the corn emblem on it. 71 crit. So she's not only is she a Fizz speedster, she's also a crit fisher as well. So that 71 crit will allow her to get an effective crit plus a alacrity at somewhere around 80-90ish crit. At least one of those crits will hit before the enemy can get in their counterattack. And the armor slayer is actually pretty good on her. It's been doing some work. She can actually damage some Great Knight, so that's pretty nice as well. She can actually hit armors. Actually, I should take this Iron Blade off. I'm not even using it, to be honest. Right now she has Lin, like I said, alacrity, and she's pretty much doubling every single unit and getting those follow-up attacks before they can even counterattack me. And she'll usually get a crit, and it's pretty nice. She does a lot of damage. The only thing going against her, like I said, was share spoils, because it does subtract 10 crit if there is an ally in space. But I actually find that's not that hard to play around. Like, if you really are trying to get a crit, just make sure she attacks first and there's no one next to her, right? That's actually not that easy. And then when you do need that extra hit and avoid, then you just make sure someone's next to her. It's actually pretty easy to play around, in my opinion. So yeah, Lynn, you know, everyone knows how Lynn goes: speed taker, alacrity, call doubles. The only thing that's a little weak on her is Astral Storm. Her Astral Storm doesn't do quite as much, and that's probably just because compared to my previous Maddening playthrough where I used Lynn on Panette, Panette just has so much strength that Astral Storm pretty much killed anyone that Panette would use Astral Storm on. But for Lapis, Astral Storm is a little weaker, so you know, you're not really going to be killing a lot of units with Astral Storm. But again, Astral Storm is Astral Storm, right? It's range 10. It's still very nice to have. All right, next is Jade. Jade is my pure physical tank, and I'm just I got Ike on her, and she just shuts down. I don't know. She shuts down all of the lower tier, lower attack units. So like your wolf calves, your sword masters, your thieves. She just doesn't take any damage from them at all. And then she's also starting, because her defense is starting to get really, really high, she's also not taking damage from like flyers and even some fighters like sword fighters, even heroes, and yeah, just that average attack tier class. She'll still take damage from like berserkers, but berserkers are like nothing. You just because you can always get the jump on berserkers. Usually you can break them. They have a lot of weaknesses in my opinion, berserkers. So you know, I'm not gonna. If she needs to take a hit from a berserker, it's not the end of the world. She's still, you know, she has that. She has high HP, and the defense will mitigate some of this. So it's not like she's going down in like 1 to 2 hits against a berserker. Right? She can take at least three hits from a berserker, I would say. Got her to level 5. Got this allied defense. Haven't really used it yet. I'll try to use it. Trying to just, maybe if I can get that extra defense, maybe she'll just not even be phased against berserkers. And this is actually really nice because basically there's an ally behind me and the full attacks me, then I get damage reduction by 3, which is probably nice. It's a good setup against smash weapons. So berserkers will typically use smash weapons, right? And you know, in addition to that damage mitigation, because I have my ally behind me, I won't get knocked back. So this could actually be good synergy, I would say. Yeah, the one thing, yeah, I mean, Ike's skills are totally cracked on her. Resolve, Light is Friend, reposition is nice. Great Ether is nice. Just sending out those fat Great Ethers with. Right now I'm just using Orvan, but you know, once I get a silver Great Axe, I'll probably upgrade that just to make the fat Great Ethers even fatter. And yeah, that's Jade. One thing I kind of want to try and do is I actually might think about investing talismans into Jade. I'm not sure. I'm holding on to like 2 talismans right now. And the reason I do that is because if I can make her into not like a A or S tier res tank, but like maybe like a B rated res tank, then that could give her so much more utility, and she can cover so many roles that way, because she's starting to get into like a Fizz Buster role, so, because she has really high strength right now. So if I can get her as a Fizz Buster plus a Fizz tank, and if I can make her as, you know, a decent res tank, then that would make Jade like an S tier, like she like a really good unit on my team, because she can cover those multiple roles, and those are really, really important roles, right? So, you know, I might invest talent in her. We'll see how her resistance grows a little bit more. I know her resistance growth is a little bit better compared to other pure res tank units, but yeah, I'm really liking Jade right now. She's doing really good. Just give her a tomahawk or a hand axe or something. She can reliably dish out damage. And you know, we have the Hurricane Axe on her just for that would give her a magic backup roll. So that's even adding more rolls to her, which making her even better. The only thing I don't like about the Hurricane Axe, the hit is a little low, and I don't want to invest that much in the Hurricane Axe right now. So maybe I can stick an Emblem on it, but I don't really want to stick a Emblem on it right now. But you know, just having that option for magical damage is just always helping the team, right? Then of course I always have a Pure Water. I'll probably replace this Pure Water once it runs out, just to get that extra res 7. So again, like if I can make it into a res tank with you know, just investing in her res a little bit more, plus the Pure Waters, I think Jade is just a totally awesome unit and totally cracked right now. So next is Citrine. Now Citrine is my designated magic buster unit. So her job is to just get her magic attack as high as possible, and she's been leveling up really good. You see her magic right now is 25, so like almost every level up she's been getting lots of magic. And she actually, I wasn't gonna use her at first, but I realized I followed the advice in my own guide, and I was like, I need a magic buster on my team because all I had at the moment was Clan, and he was more of a magic speedster. His magic isn't actually that high. But Citrine, so that's why I was like, okay, I looked in my barracks, I was like, who can I bring as a magic buster? And I was like, Citrine, it's gotta be Citrine. But the issue with Citrine, the one thing I was a little sketch on was that Citrine, I wasn't training her, right? So she was only like level 10 base class. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a risk here. I'm going to invest in Citrine, and then I started just feeding her all the kills, and using mentorship to help get extra EXP by having her kill units next to units who have mentorship. And I was able to get her into Sage level 9 right now, and her, so that's the internal level of 19, which is, so now she's finally caught up to the rest of the team, is what I'm trying to say. And because her speed is, it's not technically 0, it's actually 12, but even that base value of 12 speed is not that good, to be honest. So I just gave her the Boganone Tome, and she is just there to throw Boganones out, and it has the Ike emblem on it, and I'm just trying to increase damage as much as possible. I find a pretty good combo is because I have mentorship on Alear right here. I can get the extra damage by standing next to Alear with the Divine Dragon skill, and that just increases her total attack even more, which is pretty nasty. And then she's been leveling up really nicely because Alear does have that mentorship. So yeah, she's level 19 now. It's pretty good. She has free range with Thunder, of course. Elwyn just to give her options against flyers if I need it, and Elser is just for that infinite hit rate, right? But most of the time she's casting Boganone. And if hit is an issue, right now her hit with the Boganone is 135. It's actually pretty good. If I really, really want to make sure I hit, then I will just use supports. Like I will make sure I'm standing next to someone who I have a strong support with, and that will easily solve the hit problems. So Citrine is just hitting like a truck right now, and like I said, she has 45 attack right now, and that's actually, this is only chapter 16. So I remember when my first playthrough, I had Ivy, who was my magic buster, and her attack was only like 53. So she's like already catching up with Ivy, sort of. And it's not even like, I'm not even close to endgame right now. All right, we have Spell Harmony. I kind of want to try to use this a little bit more, just to get more attack on her, because she's really filling that magic buster role. And and I don't even really know what skills I want to inherit on her. Right now, I'm thinking maybe Magic +5 from Celica, just to, further fill that magic buster role. But yeah, that's Citrine. I'm really like Citrine as well, and how she's turning out, doing really good, I think. All right, Clan here. Clan is my magic speedster. So he was a terror on the field, like pretty much a terrorist in the early game. He was just doubling everybody with his fire and his Hellfire tomes. He was doing so much damage, setting up kills for everyone. Like he would do at least 80% of the HP bar for all of the typical enemies, and he was just so reliable. Right now you can see I made him into a mage cavalry, and I gave him Cantor. I was able to get Cantor on him before chapter 10. So like he was just so good. And that also plays into Chaos style, because Chaos style, as you can see, it says it gives him +3 speed when he fights an enemy who has a physical weapon, right? And he's usually fighting enemies with physical weapons, so like armors, right? And that is good because, that just builds on his already 27 speed. So that's 30 speed. He's pretty much doubling everyone reliably. And, if you double a armor with a fire tome, you're pretty much going to kill him. So yeah, that Clan just gets so much damage out that way. He has the Cantor so that he can canter back to safe. He can retreat back from danger. So you don't want him taking any damage because his defense is a little low. His res is a little low as well, but it's still respectable. I can still put him out in range of enemy mages, and he won't die. And that also helps because his speed also helps because he won't get doubled, right? Whereas Citrine, she will get doubled and she will probably die. She's not a very good res tank, in that sense. So the speed does really help Clan from a more defensive standpoint of not being doubled. Right, so we have Hellfire on here. We got Wind, just for I probably should get a Thunder Tome on him. I've been a little lazy on that, but just these are really nice. I just gave him a Steel Sword just so he has an option to break someone, break axe users if I need emergency Steel Sword. So that's the reason that Steel Sword's on there. Yeah, that's clan right now. I'm not sure um, what skills I want to give him. Maybe alacrity, but alacrity honestly may not be necessary because if he's attacking physical units from range and doesn't have fear of getting countered, then alacrity would probably be pointless. So I'm still thinking, but we have our options open. We did spend that 1000 SP to get Canter, so I think Canter is a really good skill on him, again, because Canter is a retreating skill. Canter is not an advancing skill. So, and we do want the clan always retreating back to safety after he attacks, right? All right, that's clan. Clan is super good. Like as you can see, everyone is super good, and these are not meta units. Like everybody's talking about meta units. If you know how to build a unit and you know what you're doing, and you know the roles that I explained in my previous video, and you know how to build an army with good team composition, then you don't need meta units. This is how you build an army. This is how you get good at the game. Okay. All right. Next is Anna. Anna, again, she's pretty crazy as well. So, and Anna is doing a lot of things, quite frankly. She can break with the active. She's a warrior right now, level 10, and so internal level 20-ish. And even though her rating is low, that's actually misleading because it's the weapon weight. She's just carrying this really heavy tomahawk right now. So her rating is actually 6 higher than this 103, so it's actually 109, which is still very respectable. But Anna is really good because she fills multiple rows. She has the longbow, so she's my designated longbow or my designated 3 range for my physical damage. And got the steel bow for flyers. We got poleaxe and killer axe for options, against riders and just a crit. Honestly, I haven't used these 2 weapons that much, so may have to rethink them a little, see what I want to do with them. But tomahawk will break. Yeah, she's just. Actually, one weapon I know I want to put on her, which I just got, which is the radiant bow. Right, the radiant bow will let her. It will let her utilize her magic, and she can just attack wyvern knights that way. I do have to check if she can equip the radiant bow. Right now her bow is B, so I will have to double check that, but I think she can equip the radiant bow. But if she can equip that, that's going to give her that magic backup roll as well. She has that longbow roll, so she can do the physical and attack range. She's actually decently fast. I mean, she's not super fast, but she's not getting doubled by any means. So right here, her base value is 19. So if I take off this tomahawk and I use like a bow or something, I'll get my speed back. So, Anna she's very reliable. I leave her Corin for now. She can tag people with the longbow and hex them and debuff them and freeze a bunch of units with the longbow. So that's how I'm kind of using it right now. I still have to rethink my long-term plans with her, but right now Corin is doing pretty fine on Anna, and Anna is always putting in work. She has actually very reliable strength now. I would say she could even get buster status if her fizz buster status if her strength just keeps growing and growing, and I might have to even put a heavy weapon on or smash weapon on her, and that could make her into a fizz buster. So she's actually doing very well. She has a lot of options right now. She can go in many different directions with how she's been growing, and just her synergy class with the warrior. So I'm really liking Anna right now. Looking forward to how she grows out, and I think she actually got a lot of kills already on my previous maps. All right, next we got Céline. So Céline actually hasn't been getting much kills lately, but she's been growing pretty well. I mean, you can see her rating is 110. Just give her the Levin sword. I know most people will put the Levin sword on her. She has a very respectable 34 magic attack with that Levin sword. It does slow her down a little. It is pretty heavy, that's why. So she's kind of like a magic buster in training, I would say. Still don't really know what to do with her. She's just there to use staves as well as a backup. So she's kind of like a backup stave user for me. We do have Ignis. Ignis will, give her more attack. And but I actually haven't been. I mean, I've been keeping her in the back line a lot, but so I think she has a lot of room. I still haven't fully figured out. I mean, she is kind of my backup stave user right now, just because everyone is kind of just outshining her. Like, she's not bad by any means. It's just everyone is just totally outshining and just stealing all the kills. It's like, and Céline is like, you got to leave me some kills, right? So, because everyone's been killing units, I've just been using her as staves right now, but I do want to get her in on the action a little bit more. But you know, as you can see, her stats right now are pretty good. So you know, we got the magic option with 11 sword. Maybe give her a physical weapon, a sword she can use. I'm not sure. But honestly, just having that backup, she's really getting into her role as a backup stave user, which is really nice. And it's also nice because I don't want her on the front line. Look, that 11 defense, it's quite pitiful. Even this 14 res is not that good, to be honest. So yeah, I think stave user is fine. If we need her to get act as a magic backup or even as a physical backup, then she can get those kills, and with very respectable strength and magic. I guess that's how I use Céline right now. So like I said, you know, we have repo on her. She's playing more of a supported role. That repo really helps. And you know, we're still thinking about one more skill to inherit. So, and that's my Céline. All right, next is Alfred. Now Alfred, I'm building him into a physical buster unit. And right now he has a quite good strength. Like he still needs a little bit more levels. He's only level 5 at Alear, right? He still needs a little bit more levels, but his strength has been growing quite well. I gave him the silver lance right here to help him fill that fizz buster role, bringing his physical attack up to 37. And you know, lances are typically weaker than axes, so axes will usually be a more reliable fizz buster. But the thing about lances is that their hit is usually higher than axes, so they're a little bit more reliable from that hit perspective, right? You know, we gave him the spear for that 2 range, the Rider's Bane. This Rider's Bane has actually been doing a lot. He's been putting a lot of work. You know, just putting this emblem, I think this is the Byleth emblem on it, to raise its hit up to 140 really did it wonders, so it now can reliably do a lot of damage to cavalry. I've been really liking that. Yeah, so strength, you know, his defense is, it's okay. It's not that good. It's not that good, I would say. But we just want him busting units, you know. If we're trying to build him to get those one-hit KOs, and you know, we're on the way there. You know, he still needs work, but I have a plan for him. I want to get that Sigurd skill lance power plus 10. That will really build him to the Fizz role, the Fizz Buster role. And yeah, once he gets overdrive back from Sigurd, I think he'll just shred units that way from that perspective as well. So yeah, don't really want him on the front lane, but you know, he does have that high move, right? So he's able to flex to different fronts, and he's able to run away from units if necessary. So that cavalry role really fits him, I would say. Again, just because he's a buster and we're planning to make him into a buster, we're just trying to invest strength in him. So I already gave him 1 energy drop. You know, upgrading the weapons to make sure his attack bar is as high as possible. He does have these options with the you know, the Rider's Bane as well, and we'll see what kind of weapons we can get on him. But Alfred's doing pretty good, I would say. You know, he's very reliable for breaking those swords as well. So I always call on Alfred to go break some swords for me. And yeah, I would say he's maybe one of the weaker units on my team, but performance-wise, he's been actually doing very good. So like, even though like his rating, you can see his 101 is just a little low, but just that I think that's just because everyone else is just so strong, in my opinion, and it's already been getting a tons of kills and putting in a lot of work. So it's not that Alfred is bad, it's just everyone else has just been doing so good, I would say. All right, Sadal, I don't really want to talk about Sadal so much. I want to try this playthrough without Sadal. And some people will think I'm crazy for trying to play the game without a dancer, but I don't give a crap because I know how to play the game without dancer. Like, if I can fill all the roles properly, then like how I would play the game without a dancer is I would need someone who can just do a lot of different things. So I think Mauve is a good replacement for dancer. He can heal, he can damage, he can repo, he can just do a bunch of things, right? Of course, I'll keep using Byleth as my 4 dance, but Sadal, you know, it's definitely going to be harder if you don't use Sadal, but I want to see if I can try beat the game without Sadal. We'll see. All right, next is Rosado. Rosado is, I'm going to make him into a Fizz Buster, and I really wanted to actually turn him into a Griffin Knight just because I think he might look more prettier or nicer as a Griffin Knight, but honestly, with Alfred, you know, I mean, Alfred is my my designated Fizzbuster, but he still has to grow into that role, right? Whereas Rosado he's already a good Fizzbuster. You know, he comes with axes, and of course axes do the most damage out of the physical weapons, so he's just already kind of built for that. So that's the reason why I don't really want to switch him. I just got him, right? I just beat chapter 16, and that's the chapter that you get him. And I still need to patch him up a little. Like, I need to find weapons for him, emblems that he could use on those weapons right now. But you know, as he comes, 17 strength and reliable dex, so he's reliably hitting units. I think he's pretty good. The one and he also comes with Erica. So I was thinking about putting Erica on Alfred, but I think I'm just going to keep Erica on Rosado, because when Sigurd comes back, I'm going to put Sigurd on Alfred, so that way I can keep Erica on Rosado. And that's perfect synergy as well, because if we're making Rosado into a Fizzbuster, then he needs to get as much damage as possible, and Lunar Brace is going to help with that, right? If he can get more attack power that way, then that you know, we're just trying to build as much attack power on him as possible. So we just need to upgrade his axes. That will help with the Lunar Brace. Maybe I'll probably, because if he's going to be the designated Fizzbuster, well, I can actually start sticking inheriting Ike's skill on him. So we can go to Ike's skill maybe. Here. Which is axe power, so you know, grants attack +2 with cost of avoid -10. That's only the first level, right? There's axe power 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think maybe axe power 5 is +10 attack. I think that is because it increases by 2 each time. So you know, if we get that on Rosado, then he's going to be a crazy Fizzbuster as well. So I think we got all the roles here. So we have Magic Buster, Magic Speedster, which is Clan, Magic Backup. Once we start getting those magic weapons, we can already, you know, like the Flame Lance. We already have the Hurricane Axe, and we already have 11 swords. So we have magic backup roles. We have Fizzbuster with Rosado and Alfred potentially. We have Fizz Speedsters with Alear and what's her name? Lapis. Very reliable Fizz Speedsters, putting in a lot of work. We have the Longbow on Anna, and you know, her ranged attack. And we also have the Crit Fishers. So Lapis is the primary Crit Fisher. I think maybe I will make Alear into a secondary Crit Fisher. So what I can do is take this Wodow. Oops. I can take the Wodow on Lapis and actually give it to Alear, and then I can start investing in a Killing Edge and put that Killing Edge on Lapis. So then now I have Alear and Lapis as my Crit Fishers, and then the Killing Edge will have a little bit more, what's it called, attack power. So you know, we can also give the Killing Edge the Corn Emblem, and we can give the Wodow, which is now on Alear, the Lin Emblem, and that will bump their crit rates up, and they can both be Crit Fishers, but with Lapis being the primary Crit Fisher. All right, and then we have our main healer or main staff user as what's her name? Fram. Fram is just crazy. Like, I wish I would dance her more, because she can do so many things. She can use the stave. She can really do a lot of damage with the steel hand art, and then she can instruct with Violet and do the goddess. And she's like, she needs more moves, to be honest, because she's just so good right now. And yeah, so Fram is my designated staff user. She uses staffs, although she has so many roles as well. She can break, she can dance, like I said. But anyways, designated staff user. Then we have auxiliary staff users like Céline right now. I think someone on here can also use staves. Citrine can also use staves, so I should probably also give her a stave. So that means I have 2 backup stave users, which brings me to a total of 3 stave users, which could be really, really nice that way. And then the dancer, you know, if I was playing this normally, I would keep Sadal as a dancer. But like I said, I want to try play this without Sadal. We'll see how it goes. I'm not too sure. But, you know, like I said, every really good team comp has one dancer, and it's whatever dancer the game gives you, right? And then we have Cavalry with Jade, as well as Alfred, so they have that high move. And then we have Rosado as our flyer. And like I said, even if I made him to a Griffin Knight, that would change him more into the speedster, this speedster role, backup, stave user, and flyer roles, right? But like I said, because I'm thinking about team composition and I really want another Biz Buster on my team, I'm probably going to keep him as Wyvern. So those are the units I'm using right now, and right now that brings us to 6, 9, 10, 11, about 10 or 11 units. So I still have 3 more units I can bring to the final battle. And yeah, so this team is doing really good right now. Maybe we'll use the the later units that the game gives us, but for this playthrough, I just wanted to use different units that nobody's really using and who people say suck. And by no means do they suck. It's just you have to know how to play the game. You have to know all the game mechanics. You have to know what makes it a good team, what makes a cracked team, what makes a really good dream team. And if you know how to do all those things, you can use any unit in this game to great success. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that video. Subscribe if you like this content, and thanks for watching.